Now, we go into what petition on appeal mean, what they both mean in a civil service. Um, when we hear the word petition, what comes to our mind first is about writing, complaint. That's the first thing that comes to our mind. Somebody is making a complaint. For somebody to be making a complaint, it therefore means that uh, whatever conclusion on a particular matter that has been reached, that person was never satisfied. That would definitely be the reason why you hear the word petition. Now, in a simple term, petition simply is a formal written request, because when you're writing a petition, you're also requesting for something. A conclusion that was reached at issues bothering you was not well taken. So you are requesting, or a complaint. It could be a complaint. You are complaining, signed by an individual. Of course, if it is not signed, it's like a letter. Now, when a letter is not signed, it's void. So a petition has to be signed either by the individual or by an organization. An organization can petition the government, a group of persons, or whatever. Submitted to an authority. You submit your petition to an authority. It could be government. To address a specific grievance, either on private or public interest. That is what petition is about. You are complaining. You want a redress. Definitely, when you are making a petition complaining, you are complaining to most probably a higher authority to address a situation. It could be on private interest or on public interest. Now, in civil service, it is expected that before an officer goes ahead to write a petition, it is expected that all measures have been exhausted. Definitely, before an officer writes a petition, it could be as a result of, okay, about the last discussion we had, deferment. An officer could not be comfortable with his salary being withheld, and as such, is not happy. And after all conclusion, the officer decided to take it further. So it is expected that the officer must have used all apparatus within civil service to resolve that issue before writing a petition to government or to a higher authority. Where all exhaustive measures have not been used to resolve that issue, a petition ordinarily will not be entertained by higher authority. So it's expected that all avenues must have been exhausted before writing a petition. Now, what is an appeal? Because definitely, when you have a petition, you say an appeal coming after that. We say an appeal is a request to higher authority to review a decision. A decision has been reached to dismiss an officer. We see if you go to Federal Civil Service Commission, if you go to their website, you see petitions that they've handled. Series of petitions that they've handled on behalf of civil servants. You will see it there. Some cases have been resolved, some are still under discussion. So appeal itself is a kind of a request to higher authority to review a decision made by lower authority, because it's from lower to higher. Lower authority, such as tribunal, it could be a tribunal, it could be a court, it could be administrative body, like in the case of Federal Civil Service Commission or Office of the Head of Civil Service Administration. E.g., it could be on employment. You are seeking an appeal for an employment matter. It could be on promotional matter. It could be on disciplinary matter. It could be on transfer, as the case may be. So when you are asking or you are requesting for a review of a decision that has been reached on an individual to a higher authority from a lower authority, it is called an appeal. So normally, petition and appeal, they normally go together. When you are petitioning, you are also requesting. You are also seeking a redress for a particular matter. Now, the question will not be, to whom should my petition or appeal go to? Now, if we recall very well, in one of our previous classes, we said the two major instruments of government used to handle civil service matter are the Federal Civil Service Commission and Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation. Now, it is not all a petition or appeal that will go to Federal Civil Service Commission. Some go to Federal Civil Service Commission, while some go to Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation. Now, issues on appointments, promotion, discipline, transfer, secondment, and posting are handled by, issues on appointment, promotion, discipline, transfer, secondment are handled by Federal Civil Service Commission. If you remember in our last class when we were talking about discipline, we were talking about Federal Civil Service Commission. While issue on condition of service, we talk about salary, we talk about welfare, we talk about leave, we talk about pension, we talk about gratuity. They are being channeled to Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation. So let's not get it mixed up. You know to whom your petition should be routed to when you are writing a petition, or you need an appeal on a particular issue that has been previously concluded on issue affecting an officer. Now, what are the procedures, or what is the procedure for writing a petition? What is the procedure for writing a petition? Yes. Now, what is the procedure for routing a petition? Now, let's assume an officer A feels aggrieved for an offense that was alleged about him, and the conclusion was not suitable, and such needed to petition. Let's say issues on promotion. Now, what it means that your petition must go to the Federal Civil Service Commission. First, that petition must contain certain things. It is a must that it must contain the officer's full name must be written on that letter. His signature must be there. The officer's staff number must be there, because your number is like your matriculation number. Without your name, your number could be reached. Then the officer's address must also be there, because if you choose the address, you will be informed that okay, these are the decisions that have been taken based on your petition. So those four things, they are mandatory, that those four things, with other things that are added, but those four things must be part of the petition. Where the petition is being written by some other person, the writer must put his address. The writer, his address must be in that letter. Again, where the letter is being written on behalf of an illiterate, the writer must state that he was asked to do that. It must be stated in the letter, in the petition, that he or she was asked to write on behalf of the illiterate. Now, when you are done writing, the letter is routed to the immediate superior officer of the affected officer or the individual. Officer A, who is on grade level 10, and the superior officer may be a grade level 14 officer. He routes the letter through the superior officer, then through the head of the accounting of the line ministry or department or agency, as the case may be. If it's a ministry, it's a PAMSEC. If it is MDA, if it is a department or agency, it is executive secretary or the director general. Now, the head of the agency will now make a cover note and in turn submit to the destination, that Federal Civil Service Commission. We're talking about promotion, so the letter is definitely going to Federal Civil Service Commission. Now, This letter is always in duplicate. The petition is always in duplicate that is written. However, one of the letters not duplicate, the officer is expected to submit a duplicate. Why the officer again is expected to submit one of the letters ahead to the final destination where the letter is going, stating that he or she has routed a letter for a particular issue through a superior officer, through the head of the ministry or department or agency, then going to the final destination. And if you watch this procedure, you discover that this process of making the affected individual to route a letter directly to the final destination creates a rule for fairness. Because you could have a situation where an officer who feels aggrieved writes a petition, routing it through its superior officer and through the head of the agency, and that letter never gets to the final destination, which is a possibility. It could be suppressed, which is a possibility. But the law has given room for the officer to now route a letter directly to the Federal Civil Service of the Commission or Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Profession, stating that certain issue, certain petition has been written but routed to his or her office. Now, that is how a petition or appeal is being routed through the officer or to the officer to the final decision. Again, an appeal or petition can be written directly to government. You can write your appeal again to office of the Secretary of the Government of the Federation. You can write an appeal to that office. An appeal can be written straight to that office because there are certain issues that there are certain personnel when seeking appeal, public officers, due to the position they occupy, their letter should be addressed by that office. And again, your own office, the ministry departments and the agencies, they can as well handle certain petitions that do not exactly primarily need to get to Federal Civil Service Commission or Head of Civil Service of the Federation. Now, what are those things that could disqualify a petition? What are those things that you know or that we don't know could disqualify a petition? One, when the issue has not been exhausted by all means possible as outlined in PSR or other documents, you've not exhausted other measures. You just felt an issue was reached on your case and you felt the first thing to do was to write a letter to federal. No. You have to exhaust when other means have not been exhausted. That petition will not be entertained. Two, if the content of that petition is before a court, once that content, let's assume a promotion issue, you decided to take the office, government office, to a court for a promotion matter, and that court has not finally given any final verdict on that matter, government will not entertain, Federal Civil Service or any office for that matter will not entertain that petition, not until the court has given its final verdict on that matter. Then again, if your petition is meaningless, they could not pick a word, it could not be defined when your petition is not defined. Again, if your petition contains abusive words, foul language, just because you are aggrieved and as such you decide to insult your superior officers in the petition, such petition will not be entertained. Again, a petition will not be entertained if the conclusion of that matter for which you are writing a petition on was beyond 6 months. What it means is, let's assume an officer in Department A or in Ministry A promotion issue matter was taken against an officer and the officer was not promoted. The officer was supposed to be promoted 6 months ago. Now he was not promoted, and the issues bordering the promotion matter has been concluded within 6 months ago, and now the officer is now writing the petition. No, the petition will not be accepted. What it means is, when that verdict has been taken by the ministry or department, within 6 months, for which conclusion has been reached, you write your petition so that it will be entertained. Not after 6 months, it will not be entertained. Now, those are the things that could disqualify petition or appeal from the petitioner. Now, your petition itself, it is expected that when it gets to the final destination, within 6 months of petition and appeal, everything would have been sorted out. Everything would have been sorted out, redress sought, petition handled, and feedback will be given to the affected officer. Now, with what we've said so far on petition and appeal, definition of terms, procedures for writing petition and an appeal, disqualification for petition and appeal. Now let's look at multiple choice questions that, as a civil servant or as any individual who is interested in civil service, could come across. Now, anyway, these questions will be coming up on your slide for you to see. Will be coming up on your. We want you to drop your comments, your answers. We'll react to them. So for instance, petition on emolument. Petition on emolument is sent to A, Federal Civil Service Commission; B, Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation; C, Ministry; D, Department. You could say that we've discussed that, where emoluments, the petition on emolument, where it's supposed to go to. Then again, what is the timing in handling petition in civil service? What is the time frame for handling petition? We have 1 year, we have 6 months, we have 3 months, we have 2 years. We've also discussed that. Then we also talked about this. It says one of the following is not compulsory on a petition. You know, when you're writing a petition, we said there are 4 things that are compulsory. But here in this question, we say one of the following is not compulsory on a petition. We said A, full name; B, signature of the officer; C, we have the grade level of the officer; and D, we have the staff number of the officer. Now, these are the questions. These are some of the questions that you'll be seeing on the slide as you follow us, as you go along with us. We'll be drawing the curtain for today's class. However, we want to enjoy you to subscribe, make comments, share the link, like, and drop your comment on the comment section. Let's see how we can improve this channel. Till we come your way next time, stay tuned. God bless you and thank you.